Hey everybody, Brian here again, working on Botito some more. We did take a little bit of time off because it was Thanksgiving. I hope every one of you ate too much turkey or didn't eat turkey or whatever you want to do for Thanksgiving. I don't care as long as you were happy and you had a couple days off. We are going to be doing a little longer episode today. We are working with AC Pro Rust. This is a rust removing liquid. It's kind of a very thin gel that is designed to actually adhere to vertical surfaces and remove rust. It works basically with any kind of rust on any surface. We are using this specifically on the floor, on the deck of the boat. So we're using this to remove some rust. We're working a little bit on the bracket. We have repaired some holes in the transom because the bracket didn't quite line up. Two of the holes, the lower holes, lined up perfect. That was no problem. But the upper holes were at a different location. So we sealed up those holes with some resin and some fiberglass. Got that all done. We'll re-drill those a little bit later. But right now, let's just give you a video. And like always, just if you got any pointers, shoot them our way. If you got any comments, make them. Let's see how our epoxy repair turned out. So I'll mix a little epoxy. Put it on there. Let's go ahead. There we go. Fiberglass back in place. Now I'm sure I don't have to tell you that there's a lot of measuring that happens here. Double checking, triple checking, and making sure that everything you do fits. Because once we put this boat on the water, we need to make sure everything works. So here I'm just mounting the bracket. I put the bottom bolts in, line it up, I check my measurements, make sure everything lines up. Then I just take some clamps and bolt this down. I'm going to show you a quick trip on how I use a little bit of spray paint to line up these holes. So I do another check, once again always measuring, do another check, and we take a little bit of spray paint and we're going to go right into where the holes line up, and we'll apply a little bit of paint directly into the hole through the bracket. And this is going to give us our exact location as to how this thing's going to fit in place. We'll unbolt all this and show you real quick. So now I'm so close to that right there that I'm going to have to figure out how to reinforce it. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll put a bar across this whole thing to make it better. I do want to show you real quick where we actually sealed up the old hole. So this is where the new hole has got to go for the engine bracket. And what we did is I made a mixture of fiberglass resin and fiberglass strands and sealed up, where'd it go? There's the holes. The holes, so that I have a solid transom and we don't have a weak spot. And while I was at it, I filled up a chip right here. So this is dry. We'll sand this down and color it in later. Same thing here, chip on the fiberglass. So we did a little bit of fiberglass repair, not a whole bunch, but now we got a nice solid plug in the hole. We will re-drill our new holes for the bracket, and then we'll get to mount the bracket. This particular job takes some 4/0 steel wool, and we have to clean everything off of this bracket because we do want to clean it and we do want to paint it. So once we get everything cleaned off and sanded the best we can, then we are going to take and scrape all the old silicone that was applied to this bracket. Once we got that clean, we take a little bit of lacquer thinner, and we're going to use the lacquer thinner to eliminate all the impurities, all the stuff that is on here, from oils from handling it to just impurities in the paint and all the dust and everything from sanding and cleaning and grinding. So we're going to give this a good cleanup, and once it's cleaned up, then we're going to start applying some paint and getting it a good finish. Now we use AC Pro Clear to spray this thing. The AC Pro Clear is going to work as an adhesive promoter. So I'm going to do, this is the bottom part of the bracket, I'm going to do a nice solid coat on this because I'm not going to really paint the bottom of the bracket. I just want to clean it up. The rest of the bracket, I'm going to do a little dusting on it, and that dusting is going to work as an adhesion promoter. But you can see how it leaves a nice shiny finish. See? Hello. So here's the bracket before. Here's a couple of pictures before I started on the bracket, both sides of it, and then we're going to go to town with some paint. Make this nice and pretty. Now what we do here is we do several light coats. We want this to be really nice. We want this to look good. We don't want to have any runs. We want to make sure that when we're done with this, it looks as close to new or in really nice condition by the time we're done. So this is going to take about 3 to 4 coats. Once we're done with all those coats and everything dries, we will still apply one more coat of AC Pro Clear to this project to make sure that we keep the corrosion at bay. We're going to paint the front of this bracket really well because that's where the motor mounts. We're going to paint the back really well. We've already done kind of a basic adjustment as to where we think the motor is going to go. We'll probably have to adjust it a little bit more, and once we do, we'll be cranking on these bolts and we'll do another, touch-up coat. But we got the big stuff done already. Another coat going down here. This is about the 3rd or 4th coat at this point. So once we're done with all this, hit it from multiple angles and get it all done, we're pretty good. And let's move on to removing rust. This is the rust this boat. Remember, the back end of this boat was underwater. It has sat with all kinds of stuff on the deck. These are all rust stains. These are the surface rust stains that have gotten into the fiberglass that we need to remove. So for that, we're going to use AC Pro Rust. It's a rust removing gel. And what we do is we're going to do this section right here, and we're going to just pour it on there. And with anything you got, whether it's a plastic bristle brush, in this particular case, I'm just using what they call a chip brush. This is a 1-inch chip brush. This is what I just simply had laying around. We're going to give it an application and get it soaked in really good. We're going to make sure that we got our fluid mixed really good. I'm going to pour a little bit more on there, and we just let it sit. So scrub it in really good. One of the key components to this product is you don't let it dry up, so don't get too crazy doing a very large section. Do small sections at a time, maybe 2 to 3 square foot area like I'm doing right here. This is going to remove rust from all these fittings, but my main concern is I want to clean this deck. So we're going to put this on this deck, and now we're going to just watch it work. Normally we leave this on for about 30 minutes or so. So let's time it for you. We started right now at about 11:20, 11:19, then about 11:27. Now we got about 11:38, and about 11:40, we're going to go ahead and rinse this off. So this is only 20 minutes in, but as you can see, you can clearly see the line of where the product was applied and how it cleaned up this fiberglass deck. The product is designed to react to corrosion, whether it's just corrosion stains on fiberglass or corrosion on metals. Our coating is a phosphoric acid based product, so it's actually very safe on your hands as well. It's all about parts per million. Once you start applying water, you neutralize this rust remover, and it's very, very safe to handle. Now, if you get this on your hands for a long time, it might actually burn, so you want to be careful using the product. But here's a final look at the rust removal gel applied, and only 20 minutes of application. I'll give you a nice still photo here soon, but you can see a clear difference of where it was applied and where it was not. And here's your final product. With that said, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you guys next time.